Most meditation and mindfulness teachers will tell you that attachment equals suffering. There is great truth in this, and it's an important message to be spread. But at the same time, it's important to understand why. It's important to understand this teaching under proper light. Otherwise, there's a trap hidden here. And today we're going to talk about it. Hi there. Welcome to episode 103 of Master Your Mind Daily, your source of inspiration for all things meditation, anxiety, and personal growth. My name is Giovanni Dinstmann. I'm the author of Practical Meditation and the creator of livingthere.com, one of the top 5 most visited meditation blogs on the web. And today we are talking about the virtue of non-attachment. Attachment is a very broad concept. Other words for it would be clinging, holding on, grasping. It's very broad because we can be attached to almost anything. We can be attached to certain people in our life, people we love and care about. We can be attached to a situation in our life, a job, a relationship, financial status, etc. We can be attached to tangible things like money, objects, but we can also be attached to intangible things like status, self-image, recognition. And we can be attached to things that are more subtle, like thoughts, beliefs, ideas, and even our sense of individuality, our ego. So in this talk, when I talk about attachment, please keep in mind that it can be attachment to almost anything. And most spiritual teachers and meditation teachers will tell you that attachment leads to suffering. Why is that? Many reasons. The first is that everything is impermanent. So the things we attach ourselves to, they're going to come and stay for a while and then go. They're going to go. They're going to leave you. It's unavoidable. And when they leave you, there may be suffering. Attachment also brings suffering because we are trying to control things that we cannot control. We are turning outside and trying to, expecting or wishing things to be there in a certain way for us. And of course, we cannot control this, so this opens the door to frustration and other forms of psychological distress. Third is that attachment often makes us go blind. We only see one thing, the thing we are attached to. We have this tunnel vision, and we can be blind to a lot of other things and miss many important things. And finally, holding on to attachment is often fighting with reality. We are trying to force things to be different than their nature, different than how they naturally are. So when you understand all of this, it becomes quite clear that letting go of attachment is a shortcut to peace. Letting go of attachment is moving on. It's the ability to forgive yourself and others and to be well in the present moment, no matter what's happening. Non-attachment is a very important virtue. But, like all other virtues, it casts a shadow. And it needs to be balanced with the opposite virtue. Here are some of the possible shadows of non-attachment: fear, lack of commitment, and laziness. So it's important to look deeply inside yourself with full self-honesty, with radical self-honesty, to understand your motivations for not being attached. Because it can be a mask of fear. You are afraid to be vulnerable. You are afraid to care enough to say, this is important for me, and I will fight for it. Non-attachment can also be a mask for lack of commitment. You don't want to jump in wholeheartedly, so you detach. Sometimes that may be the right decision, but not always. And third is laziness. You don't want to go through the emotional labor of going all in into a project or pursuing your goals wholeheartedly, committing, making an effort. And so you just detach. You do a little bit of effort and you tell yourself, let's just accept what happens and see what the universe is telling me. Again, sometimes that may be the right thing, the wise thing, but not always. And being able to tell the difference, that's where wisdom comes in, where your intuition comes in. And this is developed through a daily meditation practice. It's not, I have found through my years of practice and study and teaching and talking to practitioners that it's unrealistic that you'll be able to go from a state full of attachment to a state without any attachments. You cannot take that leap. Some people might, but they're very, very rare. So a more practical approach would be to choose your attachments wisely. To move from attachment to a more subtler attachment, a more sattvic attachment. Because it's going to be very, very difficult for us, if ever possible, to be without any attachments while living in this body, in this planet. So if that's the case, and if attachment has the possibility of creating much suffering, then choose your attachments wisely. Because attachment is when our mind glues itself to something. Our consciousness is moving towards something continuously. And one of the principles and teachings of meditation is that we become like that of which we think constantly. In a way, you can say that's similar to neuroplasticity. Our mind will take the shape of the things we constantly think of. And our attachments are some of those things that we constantly think of. So choose your attachments wisely. So let me check my notes if there's anything else here. Right, so the two overall teachings here is, first, don't try to get rid of all attachment at once because that's hardly possible. But choose your attachments wisely, going from attachments that will create a lot of suffering to attachments that are closer to your heart and to the way you want to live in this world, your mission, your values. That's the first point. And the second point is, yes, non-attachment is essential for living a good life and having peace of mind. But like many other virtues, it casts a shadow. And we need to balance non-attachment with the opposing complementary virtue of love and care. And then if you do this, if you bring these two on, then you're going to be more complete. And you're not going to be so much in trouble. We want to be complete human beings. Not just having one tool, non-attachment, and deal with everything in life with that tool. Or the opposite. We are caring people. We are loving, compassionate, kind people. And we are like that towards everyone and everything. Both these approaches are extreme, and both of them will get you in trouble at different times. We want the balance. Having a virtue and balancing it with the opposing virtue. We want to have the power to let go, to move on, to be free and undisturbed. But we also want to have the power to hold on, to dive in, to care, and to become one with. And that's my message for today. And if you find this helpful, please share it with your friends and family, with someone for whom this message will make a difference. And I'm sure they'll be grateful for you. I'm doing videos like this once a week now. I used to do them every day. And if you want to make sure you don't miss the following videos, then like and follow the Facebook page on Living There, or subscribe and turn on the bell if you're watching it on YouTube. And finally, if you want to work one-on-one with me as your coach to help you navigate life, make sense of things, and keep you aligned with your values and your goals, then contact me for coaching. I'll put the link in the description. Thank you for watching, and happy growing.